Ndewo, greetings in Igbo. So today I'm going to share a little bit about my current read. So here it is, a beautifully, book. I love the picture. So if you can see it, for me it has this whole concept of a shrine, like offerings. There's a candle being lit, food, fruit, which I love. I'm currently obsessed with books written by African authors, mainly books, fiction and non-fiction, that sort of like give a very realistic and relatable experience of African life and African childhood, African challenges, African joy, like pro-African all the way. So the author's name is Akwaeke Emezi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So this is a transgender, non-binary author. So she uses the pronouns, I said she, very wrong. They use the pronouns they and their. So they were born to an Igbo father and a Sri Lankan mother, and they grew up in Aba. And this is their fourth body of work in form of a book. So today, I wanted to read a little bit from the chapter Masks, Dear Maki. So this chapter was very profound for me. One thing about me, when I read a book, I want to, get something from it, something that is practical, that I can, relate it to me and my life, something that I can use. So I really, really love this chapter. I'm just before halfway of the book, but I just had to go back to this chapter and share. So let's get into it. I want to take the magician who loves me back home to Nigeria. I miss the heavy rain there, the way it immediately grounds you in the visceral, sinks you into a weighted reality. It's the perfect place for masquerades and tricksters, for dizzying extravagance, unapologetic performance, four corners, and secrets that stare you in the eye. The magician knows a lot about masks. He's made them, spent years breathing the air seized inside them. He's also a trickster who lives in the knuckles, in the places that moves. I'm a thing of blurred spaces too. Masks slipping on and off, limited exhibitions passing through my face. We sit in 3.5 cafes at the same time, and he orders us a pot of hibiscus tea while we talk about authenticity and how stories can be more true than facts. If you accept that masks are gateways to larger truths, the magician says, then you can slip from the bondage of what is considered authentic. You wear the mask, you are the thing. I need to read that again. You wear the mask, you are the thing. My tea is deciding to turn into coconut water. I drink it anyway. In possession rituals, he continues, the god is present, however, the god presents. In whomever the god rides, the god cannot be inauthentic. I know from my childhood between Abba and Umiyahia that it is the same with masquerades. If you wear the costume, you are the spirit. We used to watch them from the window of my father's car, spirits running along the roadside, collecting payments from the drivers. Looking at a masquerade isn't free, even if you think it is, especially if you take a picture. I wonder what they could look like in a different world, drenched in blue, perhaps like the Pyramid Devils in Trinidad, or a surveillance of plastic faces, blood-red arms waiting in a row of corn. I haven't worn a solid mask in a long time, except for the one the magician gave me before a flight in Bulgaria. I took a picture of myself in it when I got to Singapore and sent him the image. It was the kind of mask you can fold up and cram into an insignificant place, which was useful. I don't have room in my suitcase for anything harder. Besides, I've got roughly 67 other masks, and all of them live in my face. Ooh, love that. Love that. Like, obviously, it goes on and on and on, but one thing I take away from this lovely book is that your mask can be your truth, you know? The mask that you choose to wear in that moment, in that situation, does not deem you to be untrue or inauthentic. It's who you choose to be in that moment, and that is true to you. So I love that. Thank you, Akwaeke, for this lovely book. I'm not even done with it, but it's a force to be reckoned with. It literally forces you to look inside yourself. It takes a very biographical approach because she talks a lot about her life and her upbringing and her transition, and it goes on and on and on, and I've only read maybe about 5 to 7 chapters, I'm not sure, but I really get the gist of the book. And when someone tells you their story, you kind of are forced to reflect on your own. And that's how I've been feeling throughout reading this book. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what else it has in store for me. But I would definitely recommend it. I will not rate it as of yet, but towards the end of a book, I'm going to do another review and also just give it an overall rating. I got this book from my book plug, Usbudidiza. That's Budidiza on Facebook. You can also inbox me. I can share his number. He's really, really cool. And he's all the way in Cape Town. I'm in the Eastern Cape, but he's very reliable. He couriers most of his books because he's got clients all over South Africa. But yeah, so I'm also sure it's available on like online and various bookstores, but that's my plug. That's where I get all my books. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and happy reading.